Hey everyone, welcome back. Today, we're going to be looking at Transformers.
Ooh, fun.
But before you start picturing Optimus Prime and Bumblebee,
Right.
we're talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
Something that's changing the way computers understand language.
Exactly.
Kind of like how Spider-Man uses his Spidey sense,
Yeah.
to understand what's going on around him.
It's all about connections.
These Transformer models,
Yeah.
they're making connections
Yes.
between words and sentences and ideas.
Like a web.
Exactly, it's like a web.
Spider-Man's web.
Right.
Yeah.
So they could figure out
Uh-huh.
what's important and what's not.
It's called attention.
Attention.
It's like Spider-Man focusing on the biggest threat.
So it's not just about understanding individual words then.
No. It's much more than that.
It's about the relationships between them.
It's like understanding how web means something different when Spider-Man uses it.
Right.
Compared to when we're talking about a website.
Context.
Exactly. Context is key.
Okay, so how do these Transformers actually do that?
Well, it all starts with breaking down a sentence
Mm-hmm.
into individual words, or tokens, as we call them.
Quilkins.
And then each token is converted into a numerical representation.
Like a code.
Exactly. Like a secret code that captures its meaning.
So each word gets its own unique code.
Precisely. We call these representations embeddings.
Embeddings.
And here's where the attention mechanism comes in. It
Yeah.
calculates a score.
A score.
Yeah, reflecting how important each word is in relation to every other word in the sentence.
So it's like a popularity contest for words.
In a way, yes. The words that are most closely related
Yeah.
get the highest scores.
Okay.
And these scores are used to create something called contextual embedding,
Contextual embedding.
which are basically richer, more nuanced representations of each word,
Oh, I see.
taking into account their relationships with other words in the sentence.
So it's like understanding that Spider-Man is more likely to use his web shooters than Aunt May.
Exactly. The model understands that certain words tend to go together and have specific relationships within a sentence.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
It is.
So these contextual embeddings, are they like the final piece of the puzzle?
Well, not quite.
Okay.
These contextual embeddings are then used for all sorts of tasks.
Uh-huh.
For example, in translation, the model would use these embeddings to figure out the corresponding word in another language, making sure the translated sentence keeps the original meaning and context.
So it's not just about translating word for word, it's about understanding the whole sentence.
Exactly. It's incredible how these models can capture the subtleties of language.
This is amazing.
It is.
It sounds like attention is really important here.
It is. It's one of the key reasons why Transformers have become so powerful.
Oh.
They can analyze and manipulate language in ways that were basically impossible before.
Wow.
But of course, there's a lot more to it than just attention.
Right.
There are other parts of the Transformer architecture that play crucial roles too.
So there's even more to learn.
There is. We're just getting started.
I can't wait to hear more about what makes these Transformers tick.
We'll dive deeper next time.
Sounds good.
We'll explore how Transformers go beyond basic attention
Okay.
to develop an even deeper understanding of language.
I'm ready.
Great. Welcome back. Remember who we were talking about Spider-Man's Spidey sense?
Yeah, how could I forget?
Well, Transformers, they have something even more impressive.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
More impressive than Spidey sense.
It's called multi-head attention.
Multi-head attention. Okay, now you're just messing with me.
No, I'm serious. It's like having a whole team of Spider-Man.
A whole team.
Yeah, each one focusing on a different aspect of the situation.
Okay. I kind of see where you're going with this.
One Spider-Man might be listening for sounds,
Uh,
another one analyzing movements,
okay.
and another one feeling vibrations in the air.
So they're all working together.
Exactly. Each one bringing their own unique perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And with multi-head attention, the Transformer is doing something similar. Okay.
Instead of just calculating one set of attention scores,
Right.
it calculates multiple sets,
So
each one focused on a different aspect of the relationships between words.
it's like they're looking at those relationships from different angles.
Precisely. Like having multiple experts analyzing a problem,
They're like that.
you get a much richer understanding.
Makes sense.
Each head in this multi-head attention produces its own set of contextual embeddings.
Right.
And then these are combined to create a final representation of this sentence.
So it's even more detailed and nuanced.
Exactly.
It's like all those Spider-Men reporting back to headquarters,
Yeah.
and Spider-Man HQ puts all the pieces together.
You got it. And this multi-head attention,
Yeah.
it's one of the things that makes Transformers so powerful.
What
It
are-
allows them to capture all sorts of complex relationships between words
Right.
that traditional language models just couldn't handle.
So we've got this attention mechanism,
Yes.
and now this multi-head attention.
Are we getting the full picture now? How these Transformers work?
We're getting closer, but there's another piece to the puzzle.
Another one.
It's called the feed-forward network.
The feed-forward network. Are we giving those Spider-Men a snack break or something?
It's more like giving their brains a boost.
Like brain boost, okay.
Think of it this way.
Okay.
Spider-Man gathers information through his senses.
Right.
But then he needs to process that information, make sense of it, and decide what to do next.
So it's like a strategy session.
That's what the feed-forward network does for the Transformer.
Okay.
It takes the contextual embeddings created by the attention mechanisms and processes them further, refining the model's understanding of the sentence.
So it's like Spider-Man taking a moment to analyze everything he's seen and heard.
Exactly.
Before swinging into action.
You got it. It's like a final step where the model really digs deep into the meaning of the sentence, looking for patterns and relationships that might not be obvious at first glance.
This is a lot to take in.
We've covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, we have.
But there's still more to discover.
Okay. So we're back, and my brain is definitely feeling boosted now.
Good to hear.
We've learned a lot about these Transformers and how they use attention and multi-head attention to understand language.
Yes, it's all inspired by how Spider-Man uses his Spidey sense to understand his surroundings.
Right. But how are these Transformers actually being used in the real world?
Well, they're everywhere.
Everywhere.
They're powering things like Google Translate.
Right, you mentioned that.
But also other translation services.
Oh, okay.
And they're not just translating languages.
Really? What else can they do?
They're helping to power search engines.
Wow.
Chatbots.
No way.
Text summarization tools. And even helping to write creative content.
Creative content like what?
Marketing copy, music, even interactive stories.
So they're basically writing Spider-Man's next adventure.
It's not quite that simple, but they are getting closer.
That's amazing.
It is.
But are there any downsides to all this?
Well, one of the big ones is the computing power they need.
How so?
Training a transformer model requires a massive amount of data and processing power, which can be expensive and resource-intensive.
So it's not exactly a simple process.
No, it's not.
And we also need to make sure they're being used responsibly.
Absolutely. With great power comes great responsibility.
Right, like Spider-Man.
Exactly. We need to be careful about bias and fairness to make sure these models don't perpetuate harmful stereotypes.
Yeah, that's important.
Or discriminate against certain groups.
This is a lot to consider.
There is, but the potential of Transformers is huge.
Definitely.
They're revolutionizing how we interact with language and information.
Right.
Opening up amazing new possibilities in fields like education, healthcare, and entertainment.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of Transformers.
Thanks.
What's the one thing you want listeners to take away from all of this?
I think it's important to understand that Transformers are changing the game in AI.
Yeah.
They're not just following rules. They're learning and adapting in ways that were unimaginable just a few years ago. And just like Spider-Man's journey never truly ends, the development of Transformers is an ongoing adventure.
It is.
Who knows what amazing things they'll be capable of in the future?
That's a great point. It's like Peter Parker always learning and evolving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
We need to stay curious and keep exploring the potential of these technologies.
I totally agree. Thanks for taking us on this deep dive into the world of Transformers.
It was my pleasure, and thanks to all of you for listening.
We'll see you next time.